like you.
You don't have to read it. Tanner's going to read it. Okay. All set?
Yeah.
Lenny? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a town board meeting. It's a special meeting regarding NVRA resolution. I would ask, I'm sorry.
You want to start with the pledge or no?
Yeah, okay, we should, yes. I would ask everybody to please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, I was thinking an abbreviated meeting here.
Yes, it is.
I would ask our town attorney, Darius, to read the resolution.
Sure, so I'll give a little explanation too for the public and for the board. The town received a letter on July 19th dated July 13th claiming about, from a law firm alleging discrimination in the voting in the town of Mount Pleasant. It related to Hispanic voters in the town of Mount Pleasant, and it alleged that there was a violation of the recently passed New York Voting Rights Act. So we responded as counsel to the town of Mount Pleasant and asked for information from that law firm about any data that they had. That was on July 26th. They responded on August 18th, indicating they're still doing the analysis and don't have the analysis yet to provide to us. So we've reviewed the statute at length. It's the Voting Rights Act of the state of New York State Election Law, Section 17206. There's recently adopted in January of 2023, and I understand we may be one of the first towns to have this allegation leveled. It essentially is saying that that there's no ward system, since it's at-large voting for town board members, that Hispanic voters are being disenfranchised. So what we've done is we've analyzed the statute, analyzed some of the law that's out there in other municipalities and the Federal Voting Rights Act. And under the statute, there's a process where we can adopt this resolution, this NVRA, New York Voting Rights Act resolution. And what that does essentially is it stops the clock and allows us to analyze the data ourselves. And as part of this resolution, there are two experts that we'd like to retain with their proposals attached to the resolution. One of them is a Mr. Jeffrey Weiss, W-I-C-E, and the other is a Dr. Lisa Hanley, to investigate the claim and to provide a report. We'll have public hearings on this with the public to provide any information they have, and we will analyze voting data with the experts and report back to the board as soon as we can. This is an evolving issue. We're following the statute and what the safe harbor provision of the statute provides. And once we have the data from the expert, which will be quick, probably in the next 30 days, we will come back to the board and present that to you and the public. But this resolution is necessary and timely because it must be adopted within 50 days of the letter dated from the law firm that's alleging a violation. So that would take us to next week, and we don't have a meeting next week because of the holidays coming up. So this special meeting was called to analyze the data and pass this resolution. All we're doing is analyzing the data at this point, and if there's any type of remedy that needs to happen after the data is analyzed, we'll have to come back to the board on that. But this resolution is just the beginning step as the statute provides. It's called the New York Voting Rights Act resolution. So I would ask the board to consider adopting the resolution as written. It would include hiring Mr. Weiss and Dr. Hanley, and also sets forth the details of how we comply with the statute and what the town board will be doing in the next 30 to 60 days.
Okay. Any board members have any questions?
Yep.
Okay. So if I could have a motion to adopt the New York Voting Rights Act resolution as presented and proposed, that'd be my request as the attorney. It's not a public hearing. I don't know if the board wants to take comment, but you can. It's up to the...
You're welcome to offer comments if you like.
Jim Russell from Hawthorne. I strongly urge this board to vote against the so-called Voting Rights Act resolution, or at least postpone any vote until town residents have the opportunity to become acquainted with the matter. I only learned about it from a town email that was sent less than 48 hours before this meeting. And I wonder if the timeliness of public notice might impact the validity of a vote on this matter. This act is just another piece of radical legislation from Governor Hochul, and it appears that Mount Pleasant may have the distinction of being the first municipality in the state to be targeted with it. Instead of hiring consultants who appear to be sympathetic to this legislation and anxious to change our traditional voting system, this board should reject the demands of the Abrams Fensterman law firm and instead seek the opinion of a conservative constitutional law scholar and the assistance of a conservative public interest law group. It should be noted that Hochul's anti-gun legislation has recently been declared unconstitutional by a federal judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think my recommendation to the board is that the resolution is passed. It stops the attorney's fees provision of the statute. It doesn't commit the board to anything at this point. It's part of the safe harbor provision set forth in the statute to allow us to analyze the data. That's what we're doing now, to analyze data. It's a complicated issue, and it needs to be looked at closely by experts. So my recommendation is to pass the resolution today.
Very good.
But part of the problem is it is a time period where it has to be done, so
Correct.
if we don't take action, there's consequences.
Right, and the action, you're not setting up any system to begin with now. You're not agreeing at this point that there's going to be any change in the electoral process. You're looking at the data, and the statute allows you to do that to stop the clock, essentially, at least temporarily. It is a short period of time, so we do need to move quickly, and this is not a situation where we can delay. If we delay, they file suit, we'd have to pay, and there's ultimately a determination against us. Attorney's fees on the other side would be owed by the taxpayers of Mount Pleasant. So that's why it's necessary to pass the law right away. This resolution right away.
I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Danielle,
Second.
second by Tom. All in favor?
Aye.
And I also am in favor of it, so that's three. We have two absent
Great.
members. That's a 3 vote. So,
That's all I had, Mr. Supervisor.
okay,
And that's all the agenda has today.
all right. Thank you. I appreciate public's involvement. Meeting is now adjourned at 11:09.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Supervisor.
very much.
Thank you.